Someone please come and save this poor guy. Why do all the women in this world want to marry him? The more he tries to run away, the more people come to him. Jim had to temporarily hide up high. But when looking down, there is absolutely no gap. After all, what has led Jimmy to this situation? Originally an orphan, Jimmy lives with his grandfather James. Since childhood, he has liked a free life which doesn't lock himself. So over the past 30 years, Jimmy has also got used to countless girlfriends. But not once did Jimmy think about getting married. Until the day his best friend Marco was about to get married. Jimmy felt scared, so he went to the pub to relieve his sadness. He met Anne. As expected, they soon got close to each other. That day, the two of them attended Marco's wedding. After the exciting wedding ceremony, there would be the wedding flower tossing performance. If the bouquet falls on someone, that person will be the one getting married next. The girls are very eager, and the men want to avoid it. The man whose girlfriend receives the flowers is worried, while everyone else breathes a sigh of relief. Just a few days later, the wedding was officially celebrated. However, Jimmy did not expect that the next victim would be him. After hearing the news, James comforted his nephew. Then gave Jimmy a ring to propose to Anne. He had no choice but to do it. That night, Jimmy took his girlfriend to a fancy restaurant. There are countless other couples proposing here. Jimmy wanted to say it, but inside he was against it. He was silent for a long time, his expression was still extremely hesitant. Anne noticed that something was wrong, so she left angrily. At the same time, Jimmy also became the town's first rejected boy. From then on, Jimmy started to be laughed at by the people around him. Grandpa James, after hearing the news, was so upset that he had to go to heaven. When Jimmy was in extreme pain, the lawyer Sid came to him. Turns out, his grandfather James is an anonymous millionaire. He left Jimmy a huge inheritance. However, before Jimmy could be happy, he suddenly received bad news. It turned out that the inheritance condition is that Jimmy must get married before the age of 30. Moreover, he has to have a baby in 5 years, or he will lose everything. But in 2 days, Jimmy will be 30 years old. How can it be done? If the conditions are not met, the entire property will be auctioned. Jimmy hesitated all day, finally went to Anne's house to propose. But Anne got a job, so she had to go on a business trip, probably to the airport. Jim got into the car to chase after. Luckily he was there in time. Seeing her, Jim was still hesitant, and angrily turned and left. Watching the airplane fly away, Jimmy can only be helpless. Marco makes a proposal, which is for Jimmy to propose to his ex-girlfriend. The first is Buckley, a stock investor. But Buckley didn't care what Jimmy said. The second one is a singer named Natalie. It's so hard to wait until she's done with her performance, yet Natalie said she had forgotten all about the past. No way, Jimmy has to find his girlfriend Monique from college. Unexpectedly, she's also a celibate. Jimmy had to propose to his police girlfriend. A prisoner suddenly escaped. Daphne immediately turned around. A single blow caused the prisoner to lie still. After processing, she turned back to ask Jim what he wanted to say. Because he was too scared, Jimmy just had to tell a story indiscriminately to hide her. With no other way, Jimmy had to run straight to the church to sleep. Now Marco came up with a way to use the power of communication. The next morning, the news was all over the front pages. A young giant looking for a life partner has attracted the attention of the sisters. Everyone didn't say a word, immediately stopped what they were doing. The young waitresses don't even want to work anymore. They return home to dress up as a bride. Not long after, the streets were filled with girls in formal attire. Jimmy woke up in the church, and was shocked by this scene. He is completely surrounded by the people here. At this moment, Marco received a phone call from Anne. She can't forget Jimmy, so she wants to come back. Marco went to church, and said it was a joke, but no one believed it. Talking can't solve the problem, the girls are becoming violent. Jimmy is scared and can only run away. He blamed Marco for putting him in this situation. After knowing that Anne hadn't forgotten about him, Jimmy is overjoyed. He immediately left the church, and went to pick up Anne. But just a few steps, the girls were right behind Jimmy. He felt something wrong. Jimmy turned back to see. And it was followed by a never-ending chase. The more Jimmy runs, the more people chase after him. Luckily, he caught a taxi to the train station. Just met Anne, Jimmy told all his feelings. Before his sincere words, and accepted the marriage proposal. To save time, Anne bought a bridal outfit. But when she stepped out of the bathroom, she was overwhelmed. A whole bunch of brides are running in the same direction. They discovered Jimmy and were trying to be his wife. Faced with the pursuit, Jimmy had to climb up high. He looked everywhere to find Anne, but all around was white. Fortunately, Sig made a pedestal for Anne and called the police. The pastor was in the police car, taking the oath before the siege. After everything was done, Anne also told the story to everyone. And also sent them a sincere apology. The crowd suddenly clapped with blessings. Anne tossed the bouquet in her hand, giving luck to the next person.